Scanning wavetable synthesizers are practically a must if you're an EDM producer today. Their power and flexibility is hard to beat so long as you're looking for otherworldly results. And what producer doesn't need something that sounds new and cutting edge, even if you're not an EDM purist? Among these powerhouses, one stands out above the rest, at least in the hearts of many producers. This is Serum by Xfer Records. Serum represents the near pinnacle of UI ease of use and simplicity, while providing near endless sonic possibilities. Few, if any, synths can hold this balance as well as Serum does. However, in Christmas of 2016, Vintage Sound, the folks responsible for the Nexus rompler, introduced a new synthesizer based on a powerful wavetable synthesis engine, along with multisample playback capability. This new contender is not shy about making confident statements of its own prowess, billing it as the alpha and omega of synthesis, and making claims like there's nothing VPS Avenger can't do. This might be a bit over the top, but there's no doubt Avenger is a powerful synth. But can it hold its own against a heavyweight like Serum? Keep on watching to find out. First, let's take a look at the raw horsepower that these synthesizers provide. Serum has two powerful wavetable oscillators per patch, each capable of wave scanning. In addition, there's one sub-oscillator and one noise oscillator. The two main oscillators offer 144 different waveforms and wavetables, giving you an immense amount of sonic flexibility. Serum goes even further by allowing you a variety of wave shaping algorithms to any and all waveforms. There are 18 different options, not including 4 customizable wave shaping algorithms at your disposal. While Avenger doesn't offer all the same wave shaping algorithms, it does go a step further by allowing you to deploy 6 different wave shaping effects at once, while Serum only allows for 1 with each oscillator. Each oscillator in Avenger has its own sub-oscillator and noise oscillator. You can load up static waves, wave tables, and even multi-samples. In addition, you can load up to 8 oscillators per patch. Oh yes, and there's a sample-based drum synthesizer built in because, you know, they could. Avenger clearly overpowers Serum in raw oscillator power. However, there are some areas where Serum pulls ahead. For instance, when making wavetables from scratch, Serum has a powerful set of tools. You can create your own waveform using a spectral display or drawing a waveform by hand. With the latter, you're given a plethora of interesting and useful tools to draw your waves, such as grid snap and wave shapes. Avenger does give you direct wave drawing, but it's not nearly as robust. But what's even more interesting is that Serum gives you the power to morph between 2 waveforms to make smooth, scanning wavetables. Playing with this function was fun, easy, and rewarding, and there's no such function in Avenger. Serum also dominates when it comes to resynthesis. While Avenger does offer resynthesis, you don't get nearly as many options as you do with Serum. Serum can attempt to follow the pitch of material where the pitch varies. There's also several FFT options with various resolutions that break down the sound for resynthesis. All in all, you get a flexible and powerful set of tools for creating new scanning wavetables with Serum, and this ability is enough to keep you busy for a very long time. Avenger does come back swinging with its own FFT system, but this one works in real time. You're free to use it to change the frequency spectrum of any static wave or wavetable, but not samples. You can shape the parcels by drawing, or you can use tools to cut the highs or the lows, or you can sweep across the spectrum using a custom drawn curve. There's also a unique function called Vary Strength, which varies the amplitude of parcels that make up a waveform at random. When combined with Vary Speed, the parcels will change in intensity as if they were all controlled by independent LFOs. The result is a living, moving sound that adds something special to your programs. As great as this feature is in Avenger, I still prefer Serum's wave creation and resynthesis tools, but this is very powerful and greatly appreciated. Both synths have a large number of filters that cover all the bases. Serum holds the crown for the greatest variety of filters, and also the most interesting and innovative filter, the reverb filter. Overall, the filter in Serum is very powerful, it's useful, and it's well designed. Pretty much all the settings sound good, and you can tell that Xfer spent time to make sure that this filter was a joy to use. I don't see the same attention to detail with Avenger's filter. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but some of the settings don't seem as useful or pleasing as Serum's. One example, I had a hard time getting Avenger's comb filter to follow keyboard notes when it was as simple as pressing a button in Serum. But again, we find that while Serum has refinement and some cool tricks up its sleeve, Avenger has far more muscle, allowing you to have up to 4 filters to Serum's 1. At the end of the day, Avenger's power can take you further than Serum's refinement. Something else worth mentioning is Serum's wave shaper effects. There are various distortion and wave shaping algorithms that function on a per note basis. This adds a whole nother level of sound shaping possibilities, and there's no equivalent in Serum. And as customary, you get 4 of them to use as you please. Effects are an area where Avenger soundly beats Serum in just about every way. There's a much greater selection of effects in Avenger, and you can use them in more places. The effects tend to have more parameters, and they all come with presets, something that Serum's effects do not have. Serum has great sounding effects, no doubt. They're easy to use and offer drag and drop reordering. They also go beyond the normal reverb and delay into some interesting territory, like a dual wave shaper that allows you to morph between 2 different wave shaping algorithms. There are 10 different effects in all, but this is dwarfed by Avenger's 30 effects, including an impulse response reverb with impulse library, tape stop effect, side chain effect, multiband distortion, and vinylizer. And you can add up to 48 of them at once. Here's another area where Avenger dominates. As far as routing goes, if you can think it, you can probably do it in Avenger. Serum's routing is about as simple as it could be. You can decide if any of the 4 oscillators should run through the filter, and if you like, you can route the sub-oscillator directly to the output. And that's about it for Serum. Avenger allows you to designate how many amps, filters, and shapers you want each oscillator to go through. You can also route each oscillator through one of 4 effects chains, each with 8 effects slots. You can also route each oscillator to one of 8 possible effects synths, and there's a master effects chain as well with 8 slots. With all this going on, there's no wonder that Avenger employs a built-in mixer to keep everything straight. Both of these synthesizers are modulation beasts. It's actually fun to program modulation in both, which is saying something. All the usual suspects are here: LFOs, envelopes, macros, and you'll probably not be surprised that Avenger generally offers more of the modulation sources than Serum does. A lot more really. Avenger gives you 4 LFOs, 8 multi-stage envelopes, 8 pitch envelopes, 8 step sequencers, and 8 arpeggiators. Serum has 4 LFOs that double as multi-stage envelopes and 3 AHDSR envelopes. I don't really find myself wanting with Serum's more modest modulation power. What it has, it uses very well. I particularly like the modulation matrix in Serum with this animated display so that you can see what's being modulated even if the source or the destination isn't visible in the main GUI. There's a maximum of 16 modulation slots that does make me feel a little bit claustrophobic, but I do have to admit that in most cases that's more than enough. Avenger's philosophy is to give you built-in modulation where they think you'll want it the most. For instance, the app module and the filters have built-in AHDSR envelopes. This, I'm sure, is designed to speed up workflow, and for the most part, I think they achieve that goal, although it does sacrifice some consistency and clutter in the process. But you also have flexible and freely assignable modulation as well. The modulation in Avenger is so powerful and flexible, I don't think it has any rivals in the industry except perhaps UVI Falcon. But Avenger does its thing with what I would consider greater ease of use and an eye towards musicality and modern music styles. One example is the dedicated Wavetable envelope. It allows you to reverse, flip, or repeat the envelope a variable number of times within a beat and turn those variations into a sequence. And although it doesn't sound like it, it's quite easy to do. So that's it for part 1 of the Serum versus VPS Avenger comparison. Part 2 will be coming shortly, God willing. And subscribe if you'd like to know when new content's coming out. I'll try to put out 1 video per week at least, so stay tuned. Thanks again for watching and enjoy being creative.